Hi, welcome to the next edition of Sweet Decks. I got 5-0. I got 4 decks to talk about, each of which I think are interesting and some right. One of which I don't think actually features any new cards, but I still want to talk about it. So if you like the series, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe, hit that bell notification alert for future videos. We're almost to 1,000 subs. Let's get there together and let's get into these 4 decks and discuss. So first on my list is Selesnya Humans. Interesting to note that this deck is playing Sungold Sentinel, which I've never really seen in a deck list. It does play Coco and is set up to play Chaos Reconstruction. So this deck feels almost more like a quote unquote Angels structure, right? Where it has Llanowar Elves and Mystic. So it's kind of built like that exactly. So we have Thalia's, Anointed Peacekeeper, Spellbinder. So we have a lot of taxing effects. Then we have Augur to help also fuel, turn through our deck, play more humans. Then we have Brutal Cathar. This deck does play less lords. We only have 2 lieutenants, which seems kind of weird, but we have 4 vanguards because it does tax. So it's more of a Selesnya taxing deck, which is kind of interesting. We have 4 portable holes on the side for aggro, 2 silence for combo and control, 2 get lost for extra removal against, better against control, where planeswalkers matter and enchantments matter. We have Augur of Autumn for a little bit extra card draw-ish against mid-range. Brutal Cathar for more against aggro, Liberator for artifact and enchantment removal, and Sentinel is our graveyard hate piece that we can get off of Coco or Chaos Reconstruction, which is kind of cool. But that is Selesnya Humans for Pioneer. Like I said, it looks like a lot like an Angels deck, just completely redone. So it's kind of interesting. So let's get into the next list. So next on my list is a 5-color, I think, BTL Aftermath Analyst Pile. Escape Shift, so we can sack all of our lands, get them back, and then get new lands, which is pretty sweet. It looks like it has the Lotus Field / I think Mystic Sanctuary combo in the deck. So that's like a additional infinite mana combo. We have a Binding because it's pretty good removal with Frostbite since we're playing all snow-covered basic, which is a nice include. Deluge, I'm not necessarily sold on Deluge. I think it probably should only be 2 copies, and go up something else. Splunking helps against it with the combo and with these fetches. Fable the Mirror Breaker, pretty just like the best red card in the format. Nistek Cobra, these are pretty good, just 2 cards to help facilitate the combo. Then we have Omnath to burn them out and produce more mana. That is our main board, and we finish them off with World Soul's Rage. So that's pretty sweet way of closing the game out. But like I said, there's the Mystic Sanctuary plus Lotus Field combo. So we can keep looping these 2. And then keep putting the Furnace or the Maze on top of our library and just keep redrawing the next card, Reclamation, play it, which is pretty sweet because it does still work. I think they chose this package for lands because they could also just work with Aftermath Analysts better. So, but I personally do think the Discover lands are better, just because, you put the thing back on top. I guess it works better with BTL. That's the reason, because this is 5 mana. You can't really discover 4 into a BTL, so, and plus that would be horrible, so it makes sense. 4 Pick Your Poisons because it's really great right now, especially against vampires. 2 Torches against aggro, 2 Bankies against mid-range, 2 Atroxes, not a bad alternative way to win the game. And then we have 2 Hearses for Graveyard Hate, Extinction Event for aggro, Get Lost. It's just a generically good removal spell. So that is our 5-color mid-range pile. Aftermath, Splendid Escape Shift combo deck. Let's get into the next. Next on my list is Gruul Goblins. Now this deck picked up Gruul because Pick Your Poison is really good. Same with Cinder Vines. And the other thing is, of course, is Breakout. We could go digging, find our uh, Horde Master or our Battlecry Goblin, our Snoop. And plus we have the ability to pump our team or kill a flyer, which can get a Vein Ripper, which is pretty nice. We have Cavernous Souls for protection against control. We have a single Nick though, because we can get Devotion to red. But besides that, we do have one Mutavault, which is reasonable. Our creature base is pretty solid with the most commonly used goblins. We do play Loyalists, which I think could be a better card, but it's fine that we're playing this as a one drop. Didison gets big quick. These two are just really good because they apply pressure and they also can apply pressure if you kill them, so that's pretty prevalent. Sideboard, like I said, we have Pick Your Poison for vampires, Cinder Vines for artifact enchantment removal, Melee and Volley for aggro. So if it's red base aggro, like the new bird, Melee is pretty good there. We have Frenzy for Shieldred. Then we have Masked Vandal, artifact and enchantment hate, which happens to also be a goblin. We have Case, so we could win against mid-range and control. Clothes, pretty good for graveyard hate and good against control. That is Cruel Goblins for Pioneer. Let's get into the next. Normally, I don't want to like talking about this deck just because I'm not a huge fan of it. But we're playing Grix. It's talking about Grixis Rogues. Now, the only reason why I talked about it is because Marchese is in this deck. She's kind of base and sweet. Besides that, I'm not a huge fan of the play patterns of Rogues. Of course, this deck is a little bit more of a tempo deck. You could argue, is it better than Spirits? That's up to be debated. It does have better interaction with Fatal Push and Thoughtseize. But it does struggle in the regards that it has to play 3 steps ahead. That's a counterspell with Spell Pierce, which are just significantly worse than what Spirits has. Banky is their choice for grinding matchups. Then we have Fable, which also helps with grinding matchups. And we have Drown on the Lock for a 2-drop counterspell. That's also removal. Of course, the deck also picks up the new Tiny Bones. Besides that, the same grouping of rogues are still in the deck. So, sideboard, we do have Spell Pierce. So if we need to go more into the tempo plan and counter a 3-drop like Liliana the Veil, we can. 2 Blowouts is pretty good against vampires. 3 Hearses is good against Phoenix. And Fang, we have Fatal Push against Amalia and other aggro decks. 4 Nighthawk Scavenger. It's pretty good against aggro. We'd probably just trim back on the Wind Robber and go up these because they have lifelink. We have Bitter Triumph for extra removal against Planeswalkers. And we have Thoughtseize as a decent discard outlet against control. So that is our Grixis Rogues deck for Pioneer. So that is all we had to talk about. Let me know down in the comment section what you guys thought about these lists. Although the links will be in the description for each one of these lists. Which one's your favorite? Let me know all that down in the comment section. And just don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification before you head out that door. And until next time, hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day. Talk to you soon.